Hello, amazing listeners out there. This is Business 101 with Simon Matthew, and it gives me great pleasure to be connected with you in this episode of the show. All right. I had a pretty interesting a pretty interesting comment some time ago from someone who says that, but I have been selling and nobody have bought from me on an online platform. I have been selling and nobody has bought from me. And even though that statement or that comment didn't really go down well with me, as I felt a bit disturbed. I felt bad that this person was trying to sell and nobody was buying. I felt really bad. I felt really bad, and I thought to address that on this episode, which I titled The Dynamics of Online Selling. Now, I want you to understand that the way the online uh, space works is slightly different from the way the offline space works. It's slightly different. It's slightly different in a sense that you would need more work for you to make sales online than you would have offline. Apart from that, too, you would also need a bit of understanding of how the online space works to be able to sell. Now, for example, if you're coming on a platform, an online selling platform, and you're trying to sell what you do, you need to be mindful of the following. You need to be mindful of the following. People would buy from you if they know you, if they like you, and if they trust you. I know that this also applies to the offline space, to the offline space, but it is more prominent based on my understanding and based on what I've discovered. It is more prominent online than offline because somebody may not necessarily know you to buy from you. All right, somebody may not necessarily know you to buy from you offline, but online, people would need to know you. People would need to know you, especially if you are not coming on the basis of recommendation. If you're recommended to somebody or your business is recommended to somebody, then it will be slightly different. But um if you are not recommended by someone, you're just someone who is just starting out. People would have to know you first, would have to trust you, would have to like you, have to trust you, because the online world, the business on the on in the on the online or in the online space or on the online space, whichever, um, requires is actually built on trust, is premised on trust, and so people would interact with you, people would connect with you on the basis of trust. All right, because in most cases they have not seen you physically. In most cases, they don't have anything to hold on to per se, other than what you are telling them, other than your accounts that you've opened, which you can always open other accounts. So you must be mindful of this. Then, apart from that, too, what most people don't realize or don't understand is that people have had history. People have had nasty is history of nasty experience that they've had in the past. Experience of being duped. Even personally, I've had my fair my fair share of nasty experience. All right, you would see a you would see a business that you think had prospect, that the investment you feel is good, and you invested money, and before you know it, You the website to be accessible. You would see contacts on them. You contact those. You call those numbers or those contacts, and nobody will be on the other end to respond. All right, because they have already gotten your money, so they can always afford to abandon the platform. All right, so you must also be mindful of this. So, and this calls for patience. This calls for patience. This calls for continually showing up. Continually showing up. This calls for patience. And the way I see people advertise is so funny. The way I see people advertise online, some people advertise online is so funny. Whether you like it or not, we live in a world that, especially in the online world, it is visually charged, meaning that it is something that it is a platform that your presentation should be your presentation should be um your presentation should be um your presentation should be one that is catchy. It should be one that is catchy. If it is not catchy, people may likely not engage with you. All right. Some people just advertise, they don't even bother to make it look a bit nice. Some people just advertise, they put just their numbers. There is no name attached to that. People cannot attach the name of the business to whatever it is that they are selling, and they're expecting to make sales. It doesn't work that way. And for some other people too, what actually betrays them is even their profile, their profile, and and I find this funny because some people still treat their online platforms, as in business wise, they treat their online businesses as hobby. They treat it like a hobby, as if it is something that's, well, let me just try my hands on this. It doesn't work that way. If you sincerely want to have your fair share of the market, of the online market, then you should be willing to invest. What I notice with some people is that they find it very difficult to invest. Even when they get certain services at subsidized rate, they find it very difficult to invest. Invest in having good designs done for your business. Invest in having good designs done for your campaign. Don't just do your campaign shabbily and you're expecting to get results. You're expecting to get the result of the person who decided to invest money doing into doing something beautiful for their campaign. Take a take a clue from big brands. When they want to do their advert, they take their time, they spend money. The question is why? They spend money because they understand that people are mostly moved by what they see. It is what they see that creates the appetite for them to want to buy. And the industry that have understood this very well is actually um the food industry. They understand that people are moved by what they see. When they see it, it creates that appetite, that crave in them to want to grab that and eat. And that's the reason why they invest so much money. That's why they invest into ensuring that they learn how to how to craft the meal in a way that it will look appealing, how to craft their packaging in a way that it look appealing for people to want to buy and eat. All right. So patience is required, investment is required, work is actually required. And until you're willing and ready to put in the work, don't complain that don't complain if people don't buy from you. Don't complain if people don't buy from you. All right. Don't complain if people don't buy from you. You must be willing to spend money. You must be willing to invest. You must take it serious, and you must be willing to put in the work. One of the works is showing up daily. When people don't buy from you today, for the fact that people don't buy from you today does not mean that they won't buy from you tomorrow. Maybe two things. Maybe they are still trying to. Maybe they are still trying to contemplate whether or not. And some persons will be like, "Oh, how I wish she would show up tomorrow." They will buy from you. For some other persons, at the time that you um at the time that you showcase what you're selling, they may not have the money at that time to buy. And so maybe when they eventually have the money to buy and want to make that choice, you are nowhere to be found. Because for some of you, your for some of you, your even your profile does not really speak to what exactly it is that you do. And so this calls for you starting from the basis. Go edit your profile. Edit your profile. Ensure that your profile is crafted properly crafted in a way that that it will show that you really meant business. It is my belief that as you do all of these things, you'll begin to see the difference in your business. You'll begin to see changes, and the sales that you complain that you're not getting, you will begin to get those sales. I trust that this has actually helped, and I look forward to you getting results as you put into consideration all I've shared with you and you begin to do something about it. Like, come your way again, this is Simon Matthew, urging you to keep doing business, keep working hard, and keep living the limitless life. God bless you.